going at these levels also cause a hormonal cascade of testosterone and human growth hormone and the things that we are now depleting as we age. And so it's our way of being able to like boost them to slow down that aging process.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize everybody 50, 60, 70, and above.
Hi everybody, and welcome to your second 50 and my sixth episode in my six-part series on how to determine the right intensity levels for your strength training and your cardio when you're over 50 as a male and a female, and then how to set that up in your week, but knowing what it looks like so that you can recreate the right levels for what your body goals are. All right, welcome everybody. This is episode number 6, and I am covering now in this episode your high-end HIIT cardio, high-intensity interval training, or, in the cardio world, it's also known as SIT, or speed interval training, okay? Both of those acronyms are kind of used interchangeably. When it comes to the cardio, we are actually talking about SIT, speed interval training. And what is that exactly? This is where you are putting a demand on your body, a combination of speed and resistance and incline, depending on what machine or what, cardio modality you're using. And you're using a level that is so high that you can only do it for like short bursts, like 15 to 30 seconds max before you have to come down, all right? Most people think they're doing this and they're not getting to that level because they're trying to do it too frequently. And by trying to do this too much in a week, especially when you're over, 50, it ends up being the law of diminishing returns. It feels really hard. It feels like you're exhausting yourself, but you're not hitting the levels that you could if you did this in the right spacing through your week. I want to show you what it looks like, because the other thing is that a lot of people think they're hitting these high intervals at the right level, but they're not, and then not getting the results. All right, so this is your highest intensity cardio. They are done for very short intervals, like I said, 15 to 30 seconds max. If you're doing 45 seconds, then this is not it. You're not doing it intense enough. So the duration is 15 to 30 seconds, and the loading, which includes the speed, resistance, and incline, is so high that you are getting to I have to stop. I'm literally getting the message from my body that I cannot do another second at this level before I get some recovery. All right, so the combination of the resistance, incline, and speed, depending on the machine, or, if you're outside, if you're biking up a hill or on a flat or whatever, is critical to this. But it's going to be different depending on what you're doing and how you feel that day. But you can see it in somebody's body, and I want you to see it in mine so that then you can recreate it in yours and know that you're hitting the right levels, all right? So why do you want to hit this level, number one, in your training, okay, especially when you're over 50? The reason why you do is because it is now topping off your engine, your metabolic engine. It's keeping your vehicle able to go to these highest levels, because as we age, we become less proficient even at the medium levels of cardiovascular health and, systems. And so by hitting these top end ones, we're actually adding higher load for short durations to keep that demising of these levels from a slippery slope that goes down like this and more of a slower slope, okay? So as uncomfortable as they are, and they are extremely uncomfortable, just to kind of keep that, top end and challenging your systems at this higher level, it's called hormesis, where you're going at a higher enough level where you can do it. It's like really hard, but it's not so hard that it's going to implode you, but really hard. And then every system, part of the system it will rise up because of that demand. And if you don't put that demand on, it doesn't. And as we age, we're becoming less proficient cardiovascularly, musculoskeletally, digestionally, and other things too, neuromuscularly. So doing this high SIT speed interval training is really important for our longevity and optimal health. But the mistake that most people are doing is they are trying to do this too frequently, and then in trying to do so, they're really not hitting it, all right? It feels like you are, but you're not. So what's the frequency per week of this? Like once a week, maybe twice if you're having completely unstressful, other realms of your life are unstressful that week. But like I usually tell people once a week, and like I said, maximally twice a week. These are shorter duration workouts. They're going to be anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes long, but they're at high intensity. You're usually doing these intervals where you're doing 15 to 30 seconds at maximal, like my lungs are going to come out of my body, and you're going to be doing anywhere from like 2 to 6 reps, and then you're done. You can't do any more. You need the recovery time. But because it's shorter duration, you don't feel so exhausted like later in the day, like your zone 2 stuff if you're doing that too much. So peppered in at the right amounts. This is actually invigorating, but doing too much of it would be exhausting, all right? So once to twice a week, like 15 to 30 second intervals, anywhere from 2 to 6 intervals in a set or a workout, and then that's it, all right? So now, I think everyone reads that and they think they understand it, but what does it actually look like? I'm going to try and execute this as best I can because this is hard, all right? So I'm going to get my pace going and put this on manual because, you know, the levels I'm using are less important than what you see, all right? I want you to see what it looks like so that you can then recreate it in your own body. All right, so I'm bringing this incline all the way down, and I'm going to bring my resistance. I've got my stride rate, like at my steady state, which is anywhere about 180 to 200 for me, but as a comfortable stride rate is where I'm going to set this up. And then I'm going to raise the resistance so that I'm in a zone 2, all right? I'm breathing. I have to take a breath every like 3 to 4 words. So I'm kind of setting myself up. I'm going to do this for 5 to 7 minutes to just prime the pump, if you will, because you don't want to go right into these intervals without some sort of a progression to get you ready for them. Then once you're done your 7-minute kind of pre-speed interval, I'm going to now raise my pace. Sorry. I'm going to raise my pace. And I'm going to raise the resistance 1 or 2 levels, and then I'm going to sprint. And you're going to see just how breathless I get, okay? So let me just show you, okay? So I'm going up in resistance. All right. Now,
Your Second 50.life is my virtual platform that is designed for both men and women over 50 and 60, 70, and 80. And it includes pre-recorded video information on exercise and how to do it, whether you're fit and in good health, or if you have bad knees, bad shoulders, a bad back, whatever. It includes information on how to eat for weight management and how to eat for health management. It includes information on the psychology of aging and what do we need to do in our heads, because let's face it, this aging thing is not for the faint of heart. So your Second 50.life is a virtual platform of resources that you can access at your own leisure, but it also includes 2 times a month live video coaching with me so that you can bring your own individual questions and get individual coaching, as well as have access to all the information on the pre-recorded videos. So please check it out, because we're all in this together and we got this.
here's the beginning of my 15-second sprint. And then down. Like it hurts. It feels like there's not enough oxygen. I couldn't have done that for very much longer. And you can see that, right? I'm going to do one more for you to show you what it looks for a second time. Now, in between these intervals, you need to take, you need to really bring it down. I brought the resistance down to low. I'm slowing down my pace again to more of a zone 1 pace so I can recover my breath. I might walk. I might actually almost stop if I need to get everything back down so I can hit that one again. All right, there's actually more recovery in between these intervals than there is actually work on the intervals, but you need the recovery to get up to those higher levels to prime that pump in hormesis, okay? When people are taking cycle classes and other interval type workouts, they're going up into these high levels, but in between they're not coming down low enough and then not getting the results that you're after, because you have to have enough recovery in between to be able to hit that next high end. All right, for the purpose of this illustration, I feel like I'm back enough. So let's look at another one. So now I'm picking up the pace again to get into my, comfortable zone 2. I'm increasing the resistance, and this would be my zone 2 output, where I can only speak a couple words at a time before I breathe. That's the setup. And now I'm increasing the resistance again. And now, here we go. I can tell you right now. All right, I can't speak. One more. Whew. Lowering the resistance. Oh, now that was my second one. And that had more of an effect than the first one. And you can see, I can't catch my breath as quickly. Let me catch my breath. And I'm going to slow down a little bit more. Lower this down. So now, why I did 2 here is to show you something. I'm going to slow down so I can talk to you. When you're doing these at the right level, the first one is okay, it's hard. You know you're at the right level of output when you go to the second one and you saw what you just saw. It's like the recovery time coming out of the second one is going to take longer, okay? Which is why I'm saying to you, you can get 5 max of these. If you can do 10 of them, like you're not hitting the right level. By the time, if I continued to do this and had the video on, you would see by number 5, like I'm freaking done. I can't do another one like in this set, in this workout. I'd have to stop, okay? That's the level. What you just witnessed is what you're trying to get to yourself. Again, my observation is I have clients that think they're hitting that, and then when we actually do it together and I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh, no, you're not doing what you think you are. So if you're doing this too frequently in a week, it feels like you're hitting that level, but you're not hitting the level you could if you did it like once or twice a week max, all right? You want to get up into these levels. It's good for longevity. It's good for, sustaining high level of output. It's good for, it's like priming all your systems, your muscular system, your circulatory system, your respiratory system, your nervous system at levels that we want to keep at this high level. It also is making up. You got to go to these higher levels once a week, maybe once every 8 days, 9 days, because the older we get, the more recovery time we need for these high-end intervals. But you want to hit them because they are going at these levels also cause a hormonal cascade of testosterone and human growth hormone and the things that we are now depleting as we age. And so it's our way of being able to boost them to slow down that aging process. So many good reasons for this, but again, too frequently is a bad thing, okay? So once to twice maximal every 7 days. If you're under a lot of stress or older or feel like the recovery time, you need more recovery time. I work with clients in their 80s that are still athletic, but I might do one of these every 8 days, okay? Or every 10 days, like not just a 7-day spread, all right? So thank you for joining me, everybody. Sorry for this noise. It's the machine making this noise. I hope you can hear me over it. If you haven't watched the beginning part of this series, I taught this for the first 3 were about what are the different levels of intensity for strength training. These second 3 were about the cardio training, the different levels of intensity, why you want to need each, and how to mix them up in your week. So if you got benefit out of this, please join me on my Your Second 50 platform, where I have a whole virtual library of information related to aging, fitness, eating, health, well-being, everything. You can contact me one-on-one, and all my contact information is below, and you're going to hear it now in the closing. So we got this aging thing, we got this fitness thing, and I'll see you in another video series really soon, I hope. Yay! And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.